Hello students, this is the video number 29, chapter 5, upthrust in fluids, Archimedes principle and flotation. For part A, upthrust and Archimedes principle. For 9th standard physics. Now in this we will discuss first about buoyancy, or another name for the same term is upthrust. So when the body is immersed in a liquid, then there will be a upward force experienced by the body. Okay, the upward force exerted on the body by the fluid in which it is submerged. For example, this is the container in which water I am going to consider. Now a piece of cork, if I'll put inside this, that the piece of cork will float in this way. Why? Because the density of the cork is less than the density of water. Moreover, in simple words, you can say two forces are exerted on this. One is the weight, and second one is the buoyant force. And in this case, more upthrust will be experienced. Fb is greater than the weight of the body. If Fb is greater than the weight of the body, then only the shaded portion will remain inside the water, and this will easily displace some volume of water, and that displaced water will exert upward force. That is called upthrust force or buoyant force. But only that much portion will go inside the water which is able to balance the weight of the body. The full volume will not go. If you will try to push this full volume, then certain upthrust, more upthrust, extra upthrust will be experienced by my hand. Okay, and when I will leave that extra downward force which I am exerting earlier to send it completely downward, so automatically this cork piece will come out. Why it will come out? Because only shaded portion is enough inside the water to balance the weight of the body. So there are the two conditions for flotation. Same case I will consider. Suppose in this case the body will experience an upward force which is just equal to the weight of the body. In this case you can say Fb is equal to W. So body will just float. The body will just float. But in this case, upward force is greater than the weight. Okay. Upward force will be greater than the weight, and that extra upthrust will push the block outward. And this much part of this lighter body will come out. Is that clear? Good. So this is for the flotation. So two conditions you can keep in mind for the flotation. Both are the condition for the flotation. And second is, if the upthrust force is less than the weight of the body, then what will happen? The body will go down, will sink. In this case, the body will sink. In this way, the body will sink. When this upthrust force is less than the weight of the body. Now some characteristic properties of upthrust that we will discuss. First is, larger the volume of body submerged in fluid, means more volume of the body will go down inside the liquid, it will experience greater upthrust. Second is, for same volume inside the fluid, more the density of fluid, greater will be the upthrust. Means for the same volume inside the fluid, the density of fluid, if it will be greater, then that can be the reason of greater upthrust. So more denser fluid means more upthrust. Third is, the upthrust acts on the body in upward direction at the center of buoyancy. So there are two centers, one is center of gravity, other one is center of buoyancy. Center of gravity is the center where the weight of the body is acting. Okay. And center of buoyancy is the center of gravity of the displaced fluid. When the body will go inside the water, then it will displace certain volume of water. So the center of gravity of displaced fluid is called center of buoyancy. So here they have explained the same points. I will explain to you this third point. Okay. Now see the third point, when the body is partly immersed. In this, center of buoyancy will be below the center of gravity, and extra upthrust which will be provided by this fluid will send the body outward, and only that much portion will remain inside, which can give us that enough upthrust to balance the weight of the body. Okay, and in this case, larger the volume of the body submerged in a fluid, greater will be the upthrust. As there is one example they have taken, bunch of feathers and pebble of same mass, when it is allowed to fall in air. So here is also a kind of fluid. Pebble will experience less upthrust because of its less volume, but feathers will experience more upthrust because of more volume. Okay, but the same experiment if we will perform in vacuum, both will fall together because there will be no upthrust, as there is no air in vacuum. Second is, for the same volume inside the fluid, more the density of the fluid. Means if two liquids will consider, one is the density of mercury and another one is the density of the water. As you know, the density of the mercury is more than the density of water. Therefore, the upthrust provided by the mercury will be more as comparison to the density of water. There will be the less upthrust. And the reason for the upthrust, as you know, when the body will go inside, it will displace certain volume of water, and it increases with the depth inside the liquid. When body will go more inside the liquid, more upthrust it will experience. And once the body will fully inside the liquid, it will experience the same upthrust because full volume is inside the water. And if you put it more deeper, then it will experience more upthrust. Okay, that is only because of the difference in pressure. So that will you can understand better in this mathematical proof. So that I will explain to you on board. Kindly listen it properly. So here is the mathematical proof which shows that upthrust is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. So when a body is immersed in a liquid, upthrust on it due to liquid is equal to the weight of liquid displaced by the submerged part of the body. Here submerged part is PQRS. PQRS. Okay. Now on PQ surface, this H1 height of the liquid column will exert force which can create pressure. So we can write at depth H1 pressure on the upper surface, pressure on the upper surface, PQ surface, on PQ surface is P1 is equal to H1 rho g, which we have done in previous chapter. Let it be first. Okay, so downward force that is F1 we can get as F1 is equal to P1 into area. So that is H1 into A into rho into G. Let it be 2. Second thing is at depth S2 pressure exerted on the surface RS surface. So that is P2 is equal to H2 rho g. H2 is this much height. So upward force is F2 and that is equal to P2 into A. That is S2A rho g. Let it be third equation. Now the net upward force which is equal to buoyant force, that is F2 minus F1. So S2 rho g minus H1 rho g into capital A, and even rho g also you can take as a common. Okay, so this will be S2 minus H1 rho g into A. So ultimately I can write FB is equal to S2 minus H1. What is S2 minus H1? S2 minus H1, there will be H. So H A rho g. Now what is this H? HA, height into area. So height into area is volume into rho into g. So this is the required expression for the upthrust. So what is this V rho? That is the mass. Volume into density is the mass of liquid displaced into gravity. So mass into gravity is what? Weight of displaced liquid, and that is equal to buoyant force. So this was the required expression which we want to prove. This was the mathematical proof. Just practice this derivation, and the formula must be on your tips because it will help you to find the solution of the numericals. Thank you very much.